Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for May the 27th, which is today. We're going to skim through the first couple of levels as quickly as possible. Basically, land your tanks on the right-hand side, blow up the machine gun that they will naturally path towards, and then flare up to the corner pretty much where I flared. And from there, you should have range on the HQ, and you should be able to blow things up without being attacked, which is kind of what we want, right? Moving on to Stage 2. Kind of the same thing. Land on the right-hand side. Now, this time, you can let your tanks kind of roam around, clearing up the free GBE goos, I guess, the goo cylinder there, the goo pipes, the goo barrels. I assume those barrels contain goo. I could be wrong, I don't know. If anyone has the specs on the barrels and what they contain, please let me know in the comments below. Because I'd be curious. I figure it's either goo or, some kind of stem cell thing to make clones. I don't know. I don't mad scientist all that often. Maybe I should research. So, flare up to the very top, blow up the mortar, and once you blow up that mortar, nothing can really shoot at you, so you can just shoot away from the top and get a nice easy win. Moving on to Stage 3, where we actually have to destroy more than one defense. I know, it's crazy, right? Well, land right-hand side. I'm seeing a theme here today. And your tanks will naturally path up towards the machine gun and flamethrower and cannon cluster, I guess it is. If some do veer off to take out that machine gun, by all means, you can let them. And you'll see why later, but you might want to actually take out that machine gun. Now, if you don't have to, then by all means, you can gather up your tanks, path them all towards one area where they can group up and do some good. I don't know. So, like most Stage 3s, this Stage 3 has a crazy whack of hit points. So, this is where it comes in, taking out that machine gun. If you run out of time on the clock, load up a boat of Zookas. Because if that machine gun's down, your Zookas can literally stand in front of your tanks and finish off the HQ with no problems, and everybody gets to enjoy some nice fat loots. I don't have a boat of Zookas, so I dropped critters instead. They work almost as good, they just don't look quite as nice in those little, I guess they're, what are they? They're like khaki or khaki short shorts? Whatever. Anyways, moving on to Stage 4. They should be camo. Really? They're khaki, I guess. I don't know, they're brown. Maybe they're just brown shorts. Hopefully not brown for the same reason that, Deadpool suggests people wear brown pants. Anyways, take out the boom cannons on this level. Big surprise. There's one on the beach, and then there's one pretty much smack dab in the middle of the map. Obviously, if you can't take both out before you start landing your troops, take out the one closest to the beach, land everybody right-hand side, let them start clearing up some of these defenses, and then, use the extra GBE to take out that second boom cannon. Now, if you do have the GBE to take everything out before you land, and you even have some left over, you can shock where I did, which shocks a mortar, sniper tower, and 2 rocket launchers, because it saves your tanks from taking on just that little bit of extra damage. But by all means, really you don't have to. You should be able to take out all of those defenses without sustaining any incredibly high damage to your tanks. Now, if you're unable to just straight up GBE damage that second boom cannon down, either because your damaging abilities are too expensive, or you just don't have the GBE to pull it off, by all means, you can throw a stun down on that bad boy and flare onto it and just run your tanks right in there, let your tanks take out the boom cannon, and then flare it way back out to the right, like pretty much where I flared, to position myself on that rocket launcher. And by taking out that boom cannon in that way, you may lose a few tanks, but at least, you know, it'll be doable and you'll be able to kind of proceed with the attack just a few tanks down. And once you do that, go up towards the top right, I guess. And once you're there, there's not really anything that can do any damage to you. It's just a matter of sitting back and throwing on the cruise control. If you'd like, throw some GBE, take out the mortar, you know, get messaged on your cell phone, because why not, right? And eventually, Stage 4 will drop, you will get your loot, and you will be able to move on to Stage 5, which today, Stage 5 is a bit of a doozy. How doozy. The reason I say this is because there's a boom cannon on the right-hand side of the beach, and I decided to go with the smoky landing because of said boom cannon on the right-hand side of the beach. Basically, I threw 2 smokes, and then I let all the tanks gather up in the left corner, right near the sniper tower and machine gun, because I wanted them to kind of take out the defenses in that area. And then I was going to flare hard left. Unfortunately, I was a little too late, and that boom cannon wiped out one of the tanks with ease. You're probably going to want to throw some Barrage and or Critters over on this left-hand side to clear up all of the mines, because there's a pretty significant minefield there. Now, also, while you're doing this attack, make sure none of your tanks start drifting back towards the boom cannon and cannon, like mine did, because bad things clearly will and have happened to them because of those stupid cannons and boom cannons and whatnot. Fortunately, once you get them up into this like top left-hand corner, pretty much nothing can hit them. Technically, the 2 sniper towers there can probably get a few pot shots in on a few of the ladies, but you should be able to kind of muscle through it. And worst case scenario, you might lose a few tanks, but that's kind of the cost of doing business with Dr. T. Now, I also realized as I was just finishing up the HQ that I landed my entire complement of tanks and medics, and yeah, I still lost freaking a tank. That's ridiculous, but that was because of my own stupidity, not because of the difficulty of the level. So by all means, I apologize, because normally I try to land fewer, and anyways, you know the deal. I made a boo-boo. Sorry. Now, Stage 6, kind of the same smoky landing, slight difference where I just kind of landed them all the same instead of walking them over, because the boom cannon isn't quite as close. And we can kind of take out the defenses on the left-hand side and then flare again hard left to pull everything away from the center. Now, I had some extra GBE, so I decided to blow up the 3 sniper towers and mortar combo. Mostly just because it makes my life a little easier towards the end of the fight. But I probably should have paid more attention to all the boom mines laying around in between me and the HQ, because, well, you know, they do damage, and a lot of it. I tried to throw critters, and I was able to do the 1, but unfortunately, one of the 2 remaining definitely claims a victim and wipes one of my tanks out. Now, 1 stun can take out the remaining defenses, basically, that it have range on you when you're going after the HQ, with the exception of a machine gun, but it's a freaking machine gun, so I'm not too worried about it. And obviously the rocket launchers are going to continue shooting, so there's nothing that can be done about that. But the sniper towers and the cannons, the ones that are really going to hurt and wipe out your tanks, they can't get to you, so, well, if you're stunning them. So that's the important part. And then basically from here, once that last sniper tower is taken out, I threw some heals down just to try and top people up and make things a little easier on the medics. But from here, it's a cruise to a nice easy win, which takes us to stage 7, which unfortunately I'm upgrading my landing craft, and of course it's the landing craft that the medics died in. And that kind of sucks because stage 7 is all about the grind. It's all about being able to out-heal those rocket launchers, and I cannot, so I cannot attempt it again, but hopefully you can. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this has helped you. Have yourselves a great day.